Hi, my name is Azurah. I'm an entrepreneur, a wasteless chef, not zero waste chef, wasteless chef. Some people call me a sustainability and equality advocate. I'm a big believer in minimal and conscious living. Well, I've been an athlete for most of my life. I've represented Singapore for two sports, which is rugby, contact rugby for the Singapore women's rugby team, and one is silat, which falls under the tanding. So I love to create. I love to explore possibilities and kind of like push boundaries. I mean, then that's one of the many reasons I found myself exploring the world of entrepreneurship for almost a decade now. I mean, give and take. There's something about igniting an idea for it to become a reality, and especially something that can be impactful and to create that kind of change. That's what I love, and that's one of my biggest why. Okay, so I started two things. One is Wilder. One of the reasons how Wilder existed or why Wilder existed. So back in 2014, I had the idea or the concept of farm to table. So I kind of like reached out to raise funds and all that, because back then I was really into sustainability, and my granddad, had acres of land that he uses for farming. So the idea of farm to table from start to finish wasn't something new to me, but the idea got rejected. I still have the letter till today. So when I got rejected, I pushed on together with the people who believed in me. I founded FM. I started the brick and mortar ground up from scratch. So the lease was for 3 years. A lot of things, the mindset shifted. There's a lot of things that kind of shifted. So we decided to kind of like rebrand it into a platform that focuses on wasteless adventures on a more holistic approach. Mainly my advocacy revolves around food waste. So I've held talks at schools, I've hosted shows, I've been I've been invited as guests on shows. I've worked with like Ministry of Environment, I've worked with Singapore Tourism Board and some organizations to talk about the holistic approach of sustainable living and how you can go wasteless. Number two is equally as important to me. It's something that really speaks to my heart. It's the women's movement. So number two is local feed. I've founded, and I'm one of the founders, and I started local feed. So what is local feed? Local feed is kind of like a media platform, for one, to kind of like provide a stage to support the women's movement from all around the world. I'm not just talking about Singapore, but all around the world, through showcasing stories of real life experiences that kind of like ignite passion and kind of to empower action. So a few ways that we do so is by podcasts, which on all our podcast media platforms, and the other one is on YouTube. We also have content that is on YouTube. So technically that's what local feed is all about. Okay, so Wilder, what do you want to achieve? So basically, to be someone on the front lines, to start the conversations around food waste, together with partners that I'm collaborating with now, and hopefully in the future there'll be more partners or people that will want to collaborate to kind of like share the knowledge with everyone. That's one. So I mean, having been doing this for more than a decade, I've been rejected so many times, and I know how hard it is to get the sustainability conversation started. Back then it was not even in the headliners, right? So it's not even a topic of any conversation. So it's a good thing that conversations are starting these days around it. And so yeah, I mean, hopefully we can share more about how they provide solutions for them to kind of like take the first step, or take that little first step on how to get started. So yeah, plus I'm working on an idea. I'm always working on ways to kind of tackle food waste, finding solutions on how we kind of like tackle the food waste that we produced, and always on the lookout for like-minded souls to work on it together. So I guess that's one of the few things that I've actually said for Wilder. Mission has always been to kind of like elevate the voices of women. So right now we are looking to kind of like reach out to more, and hopefully like-minded souls will kind of like reach out to us too. So we are always continuously looking for partners, supporters of partners and supporters of women or girls to kind of like collaborate with us, you know, for more to come on board and be a part of the community. Again, I don't think we can do it alone. It's always the community that can kind of like helps us. And yeah, so most importantly, to give opportunity and empower more out there. So yeah, that's what we hope to achieve on local feed in the near future. That's it.
Hi, I'm Mark Richmond, Team Lead, Team Singapore. While a lot of people know that Team Singapore houses the most famous athletes in our country, not a lot of people know about an arm of Team Singapore called Athletes with Voices. We do encourage our athletes to think beyond themselves and their own individual sporting pursuits, to think of that, of the community, to think of that, of their fellow man, to think of that, of the environment. Athletes with Voices encourages and redefines the word champion, from thinking of winning their own individual medals to winning on a whole with the community, bringing all your fellow countrymen with you in your arms and fighting for them on whatever the stage there is. It is also with Athletes with Voices that I'm very proud to say that we are proud of Azurah Khalid for her efforts in ensuring that the environment is sustainable for us, for you, for me, and also for our children. Team Singapore Athletes with Voices, we are very proud of you, Azurah Khalid.